supposed to introduce myself?
Good, no, good afternoon, good evening. Uh, welcome welcome back to Down the Rabbit Hole with KD. I am your host, K Dixon, and I have the wonderful pleasure of bringing to you this evening author Paula Kendrick. Tonight's
Hello,
show,
everyone.
hi, say hi to the
Hi.
audience.
Hello, everybody.
I'm so excited about this show tonight. This show is brought to you by Love Evolution with Amy and John. It is a superfood. It assists with energy and immunity. It's a energy and immunity booster. It helps with thyroid support, detox and repair, joint and bone support. So, if you are interested in this product, you can go to loveolution.net. I will actually pin the website just a little bit later. But tonight, I'm so excited.
Woo!
To be
I'm excited as
interviewing
well.
to interview Paula Kendrick.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes. Paula Kendrick, for my viewing audience and for yours as well, please tell us who you are. Who is Paula Kendrick?
Okay. Oh, y'all have to excuse me blinking and going on. I have something in my eye. That would happen at
That
this very precise second. So you all please forgive me. What can I possibly say about Paula Kendrick? Um, I am a newly published author for one. I have four gorgeous daughters that I love truly, two handsome grandboys. I am, let's see, I am divorced. I am a young lady who is striving and working hard each and every day. I work two jobs. I'm currently going to school. And I am also actually collaborating with about 9 or 10 other authors. So I will have another book that I am being featured in where, like I said, it's about 9 or 10 of
awesome.
us. We've actually come together. We've incorporated our own chapter in a book. So that will be dropping next month. So I am not only an author. So I'm just truly blessed.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Now, the name of your book, you have two books. The first one is The Modern Day Jabez, which is memoirs of
Yes.
Paula Kendrick, and the
Mm-hmm.
subtitle is Shattered Yet Redeemed. And
Yes.
the second one is The Devotional,
Mm-hmm.
which is, it says beautifully broken from, I'm sorry, guys, beautifully broken from the
The
heart.
heart.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Paula, tell me, well, tell for those of us, because I have a very diverse audience,
Okay.
who is Jabez or who was Jabez? Can you explain who Jabez is or was?
Yes, Jabez was actually a young man. There is a prayer that's tied to him in First Chronicles 4, 9, and 10. And Jabez actually means pain or sorrow. So the prayer kind of goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to paraphrase. It's Jabez was
Mm-hmm.
more honorable than his brothers. His mother
Yes.
named him Jabez because she birthed him in pain. Jabez
Mm-hmm.
cried out to the God of Israel and asked him to not only bless him, but enlarge his territory. He asked
Yes.
God to
Yes.
keep his hands on him and to never leave him and to keep him free from pain. And with Jabez
Mm-hmm.
doing that, God heard him and blessed him. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually asking in regards to my own life. I'm asking God to truly come in and bless and enlarge my territory. And since this book has come about, I have truly been blessed. I've been
Yes.
featured on numerous interview platforms. I've got many things actually in store. So I'm just asking each and everyone to just kind of follow me on each and every aspect, social aspect, and just know that this young lady is truly blessed,
Mm-hmm.
humble, and up to mighty things.
Yes, 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 yes. Love it. Now, what is this Modern Day Jabez, Memoirs of Paula Kendrick, Shattered Yet Redeemed. What does that mean?
These are actually about 8 instances that happened in my life that literally broke me down. I cried each and every day, and it just kind of got me to a point where I was lost, I was rejected, I was hurt, I was just a plumb mess. And it actually
Mm-hmm.
stems from me being adopted and not really grasping from that aspect as far as what it actually did to me and meant to me in regards to my relationships, my close relationships, not only with my children in general, but also with me as
Mm-hmm.
far as getting married, how that came about, because I didn't know I was in pain at the time. I was actually searching. I was still that little child who had triggers, searching and yearning for love, from my kids. Because as a mother, I'm like, I'm supposed to be there for them, guide them, discipline them. And then yet when that time came, it was like I was running smack dab into a wall. And that was hurtful to me because I'm like, I'm trying
Yes.
to tell my kids and discipline my kids and show them, the right way to go. And yet at every turn, I was engulfing, hardship, heartache, and until I truly looked within myself and saw that what I was missing. That's when I truly grasped what was going on. And just knowing that in all of those instances, I was doing each and everything without God leading me and guiding me.
Yes, 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 yes. So you mentioned that you were adopted. And
Yes.
one of the things that stuck out to me when I first started reading your book is that your adopted mother is
Hmm.
Kelly, right? What's her name?
Yes. Betty Kelly. Yes. Well, Betty Kelly Lee, actually, because
Betty
Kelly
Kelly.
was her right. Hmm.
Right, Betty Kelly Lee. And for those of you all who don't know, well, you wouldn't know, but Paula is my cousin, probably like my third or fourth cousin, something to that
Now,
effect. But go ahead.
no, I was going to say now,
What's
Juanita Mays was what to you?
Juanita Mays was my great grandmother, my
Okay.
maternal great grandmother.
Okay. She was actually my great aunt. She was my grandmother's sister.
Okay, okay, grandmother's sister.
Hmm.
So that's at least fourth cousins. I'm gonna put it at that.
Okay.
I can't even because I know my grandmother's sister's children. Those are my third cousins. So my great
Okay.
grandmother's sisters, whatever. So we fourth cousins removed. But
Hey, we'll take
I
that.
found, and I had no idea that Betty Kelly was your adopted mother.
Right.
I have a funny story, which is when I read it, I was just like, oh my God. So when we had our family reunion in Little Rock, Arkansas, where
Okay.
for the audience, that's where our family originated from. Well, not originated from, but y'all know what I mean. That's where we migrated from, I should say, from
Okay.
to Chicago. But when we went down there, my great aunt Julia stayed with Betty Kelly, and
Okay.
they were thick as thieves, and they were so funny together, just hilarious. Betty
Oh.
Kelly, I mean, that woman cooked from the time we got there until the
Yes.
time we left. And we call my great aunt Julia, we call her Amy. So Amy stayed with Betty Kelly, and they argued and they laughed and they ate
Yeah.
and they argued and
Hmm.
they laughed and they ate. So when I saw that, I was just like, oh my God, that's so interesting. And actually, you say in your book that when your mother was pregnant with you,
Mm-hmm.
She Betty Kelly told her, you don't need no more children. You got other
Right.
kids.
You got 8 other
You should
kids
give me that baby.
already. Right. You should give me that baby.
Do you know Amy told me the same thing about my third son? I only had two at the time,
Wow.
but she
Uh-huh.
told me the same exact thing. Are you? And every time when I had Julie, who was my oldest daughter,
Mhm.
she's like,
Okay.
"Well, when I had Patrick, give me that baby." I'm like, no. Then when I had AJ, when I was pregnant with AJ, she said the
Hmm.
same exact thing, and I just thought that was so funny when
Wow.
I read that. And then you said that your biological mother is her name is Pearline, which is amazing to me
Right.
because my mother-in-law,
Hmm.
her name is Pearline, and I thought she was the only one on earth with the
Oh,
name
wow.
Pearline,
Okay.
but apparently not.
No.
So tell us in, in your book, you said that you were 11 years old when you found out that you were adopted. So I'm just trying to understand a couple of things here.
Okay.
And then you said that your mother lived down the street. Your biological mother lived down the street from
Yes,
you
she
all.
lived right down the street from where
So
right, correct.
so when you were growing up, did you play with your siblings as though they were your neighbors and you never knew? Like, how was that?
No, as far as I can recall, we never played together. Now, when I got up in age, and I found out, who my biological mother was and my siblings were. Now, I did go down there, and I do remember spending the night a couple of times. But as far as just us kind of interacting, that really didn't take place until I actually got grown. It's like certain siblings, I would talk to more and kind of try to get a relationship with. Then there's some, we don't get along
Mm-hmm.
for whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason.
And what other than Betty Kelly saying, um, other than Betty Kelly saying, "Oh," making a joke saying, you got 8 kids already, you should give me that baby." Was there any other reason why your mother put you up for adoption?
No, I mean, as far as the two stories my biological mother told me that the reason she gave me up for adoption was because technically my adoptive mom couldn't have kids, and so she gave me to them. Now my adoptive mother told me what, as far as in the book, as far as you got 8 other kids, you don't need anymore, let me have that baby. But as far as a more definite answer other than those two scenarios, no. I don't know if it was, financial reasons. You just couldn't take care of me. You felt sorry, for my adoptive mother. I don't know. I don't know. And I guess I
Yeah,
never,
yeah.
after I got those
And
two stories, I never did, dug into it anymore.
mm-hmm. So tell us about that experience when you found out. You speak on it, of course, in your book, but tell the audience about that experience. How did you find out you were adopted? When did you find out you were adopted, and how you felt being with this woman your entire life, and then just to find out that you're adopted? I can't imagine that.
Right. Like I said, she told me when I was 11 that I was adopted. She told me the story of how, they were talking while she was pregnant with me, and she said, "Well, you've got 8 other kids, let me have that baby." I didn't quite understand it at the time. I did ask, well, what does that mean? I mean, is she going to come back and get me? Am I here with
Right.
you? What? And she was like, "Well, no, you're my child. I adopted you when you were 6 weeks old, and that was that."
Hmm.
But from an aspect of me just thinking about it, it was hard because, like I said in my book, I actually hated my birth mother for a long time. From that stage
Mm-hmm.
on up into adulthood, when I started actually having kids of my own, because I'm thinking, you've got 8 other kids. I'm the baby. Why did you wait until you got to that ninth child
Why me?
to say, I'm going to give you up for
Mm.
adoption?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you not feel like that
Mm-hmm.
earlier? So for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thinking, you can do
Mm-hmm.
that. That was hard because I've always told my kids,
Mm-hmm.
y'all excuse me for getting emotional, but I've always told my kids that
No,
no
get.
matter what,
I've been emotional
that
all day. I've been
that no matter
emotional
what,
all day over this
that
book. So get emotional.
so I'm
For two
telling my
days, I've been
kids.
crying over this book.
So y'all have to excuse me, because
Oh,
but
God.
I'm just thinking,
No.
why me? What purpose could it
Yeah.
serve to have 8 kids, have another child, and then give me up for adoption? And so I've always told my
Right.
kids that no matter what happens, if we are homeless tomorrow, we are going to be together. If we
Mm-hmm.
have to live in a box under a bridge, we are going to stay together. There is no way I would ever give my kids up for adoption. That I just can't fathom that. And like I said, for a long
Mm-hmm.
time, I mean, I hate to say this because hate is such a strong word, but I hated
But
this
it is what
woman.
it is.
And I'm not ashamed to
Oh,
say that, but I hated her. And
mm-hmm.
it just like one day, an epiphany or a light bulb went off for me to truly understand why she did what she did. And I needed to be in the home where I was. But it got to the point that I hated her so bad till I was hot from the inside. I would boil. I would just be that hot and that mad and that upset. And it just took me. I'm going to tell you when I got my breakthrough. I got so tired of crying about the situation that I told God He had to deliver me from this. And I literally laid down on the floor with my arms stretched out, and I said, God, I can't take it no more. You have got to help me get over this. And that's actually when He started to heal me on that area in my life. And He showed me
Mm-hmm.
later on in life why I needed to be in the home where I was at. Because, like I said, later on in this book, you will see instances where I talk about my adoptive mom. And I know that it was a purpose. It was a purpose for me being born, for me going through adoption, and for me being in the home where I was. And if you purchase this book, you will see it's all laid out that
Yeah.
God already knew and had laid out my life for me. But it's like when you
Mm-hmm.
look on certain instances and harbor on certain areas and situations, you get lost because that's the only thing that you're focused on. And that was the only thing that I was
Yeah.
focused on. Each and every day I said, why me? Why the
Yeah.
ninth chapter? Why? And
Yeah.
like I said, He showed me why it
Yeah.
had to happen the way it happened. And it was just like a weight was lifted up off of me. And I'm so glad that He was able to show
Mm-hmm.
me why it had to happen the way it happened.
Mm-hmm. 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 And I'm sorry, I can't watch. I have a rule: no one can cry in front
I'm
of me
sorry.
without me getting emotional too. No. I'm saying no one can cry in front of me without me getting emotional too. So, um, when did you after you had that epiphany? When did you? Let me go back. In your book, you talk about after your adopted mother told you that you were adopted,
Mhm.
that you would go to family functions at your
Mhm.
biological mother's home.
Right. Right. She
How they
she
would
she
the
hosted.
family would be around and they would talk.
Mhm. Mhm. She would host like family dinners
They would
every.
talk.
I think it was like
Yeah.
every October of every year. And these particular family members I had never seen or met before. This one particular instance. This was the first time I met them, and I just happened to be walking by,
Mm-hmm.
and they were my cousins, and I heard them say, "This is the child that Pearl gave up for adoption." And
Wow.
and then at that instance, that
Yeah.
trigger hit all over again. And then that's when I kind of
Yeah.
started pulling away, and I wasn't going as much.
Mm-hmm. So after your biological, after Kelly told you that that was your mother, you you obviously began to have a relationship with her. How did
Yes,
that? So, like, I just
it
want
took
to
me
know, like,
actually getting
what
married and
happened?
then having kids of my own.
Hmm. So you just began to have a relationship with her, but it was always
Right. I mean, I started
just
trying to,
him.
go around more. I tried to, make sure that, I called her. And like I said, once God showed me why it had to happen like that, it was much easier for me to try to be able to embrace her more. Because you never want to forget where you come
Hmm.
from. So I just want to say that, I mean, I've
Right.
never not acknowledged her. I called her on her birthday
Hmm.
and on Mother's Day because, hey, she gave birth to me. So I at least acknowledge that and
Hmm.
say thank you for giving birth to me, because what if she would have,
Yeah.
like we see in movies, she could have took me to a hospital, fire station. She could have gave me to somebody else, or she could have aborted me. So I thank
Aborted you.
God
Yeah.
for, right. So I
Yeah.
thank God for her, giving me life. So in that instance,
Yeah.
I do. I acknowledge her for that.
Hmm. Good. Good. That's awesome. Tell me about tell me about Larry. I like Larry in the book. I like him. I could visually see him, like, and I could, like, when you were describing when you senior skip day and you went down the street and Dukes a Hazard car. I just saw him in my head, and I said, I like Larry. Tell me about Larry and your family life and all the stuff that happened with Larry.
Oh, let's see. Yes, like I said, Larry did. He had a Dukes of Hazzard car. It was like burnt oranges, a burnt orange color, and like I said, the doors did not open, so you literally had to climb through the window. So I'm 18. I'm like, oh, I like this. It's kind of cool. And like I said,
Woo!
I, I truly, truly, truly love Larry. I did in the beginning. He was he was my main man, my main thing. Let's just say my main squeeze. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it came to a point in our life, in our marriage, where it started deteriorating. It got to a point where
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel heard. I didn't feel valued. I didn't feel appreciated. Certain instances, like I said, I brought to his attention, and it was just like, I felt like you didn't care and you didn't love me enough to fight for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt
Mm-hmm.
lost, and I felt rejected, and due to those hurt feelings, it makes you make a lot of bad decisions. And I
It
prayed
does.
about it. I prayed about it before me and Larry, went our separate ways. But again, in my book,
Mm.
when God shows you something, when you truly ask God for a sign, for some help in a
Yes.
situation,
Yes.
and He gives it to you, you've got to listen and you've got to adhere to it. And that's what is in that book. I asked God for an answer, and He gave it to me. And needless to say, we are where we
Mm-hmm.
are now. And 5 years later, we're divorced.
Okay. All right. Well, I like, y'all have got to get this book because it is amazing from beginning to end. And I like how I like the layout of it, like the first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, as you're talking about just the different phases of,
Right.
well, I saw it as it was the different phases of your life up to your birth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's
Because
almost, I took it as like a birth.
it was, because if I can just elaborate, the first trimester, which is almost like the beginning, it's like unborn and underdeveloped. And some of the chapters in
Mm-hmm.
regard to that are the effects of adoption, the beginning, the
Mm-hmm.
tribute, a father's
Mm-hmm.
love, and then the evolution. And then you go
Mm-hmm.
into the second trimester, which is the maturation process. It's from the friend zone to marriage, and then
Mm-hmm.
cut from the same cloth. And
Yes.
then the third trimester is like,
Yes.
the ending, the being born, and it's delivered into destiny. It's where it says death comes in many forms, and then it kind of talks about a mother's love. Then there's a tribute to my adopted mother, and then you've
Yes.
got the conclusion. And then even in the back of the book, it's talking about lessons for the soul. And I'm hoping, most importantly, that someone will,
Yes.
if they're not even blessed from the beginning to that point, they will most definitely be blessed from lessons for the soul.
Hopefully by then they will be. I know that's
Yes.
right. Yes, yes, yes. Um, I kind of that's enough on about the book for right now, because I want people. We can't tell the whole story, but I want
Right,
people
exactly.
to actually go out and buy the book. Now I'm about to get into the writer's thing of that. What
Okay.
when did you have that aha moment? Like, I'm gonna write this book. I should write this book. I'm gonna write this book.
Okay. I actually wrote this book about, I would say, 2 to 2.5 years ago, and I just kind of sat on it. I was just in so much pain and so much turmoil, and I didn't know where to turn. And God spoke to me and said,
Mm-hmm.
"Right." I put it off, didn't want to. I was like, I don't know anything about writing. Never have tried it, never had any inkling, never wanted to do it. So I put it off. He came
Yes.
again and spoke to me and said, "Right." I'm like, "God, I'm not writing.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start. I'm not doing it." So he came back that third time. When God speaks to you, there is truly a nagging feeling, something that will not turn you loose. And that third time, I just wrote. And like I
Absolutely.
said, in the beginning, it was not even a book. It was just me being raw, being transparent, just saying,
Just
I'm not perfect. I am
yes.
actually imperfect. And this is where I stand. So, with that being said,
Yes.
one of my good girlfriends who I dedicated in this book, her name is Vanessa Rogers. She knew
Mm-hmm.
a young man and a young woman, a married couple. They were hosting single meetings for single people, maybe wanting to get married again. And I went and I met them.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Maris, author Ladia Maris, I love you abundantly. I met them, and needless to say, she worked at a publishing company. And I know God places
Look
people in
at
your
God.
life for
Won't
a
he do
reason.
it?
And when I talked to her,
Won't he do stuff
I
like
I
that?
sent her my
That
manuscript. Like I said, it was just typed words. It wasn't formatted. It might not even been double spaced. It might not even had the 12-point font, but there it is. There it was. I sent it to her. Her and her team and Living Water Books transformed my words into this book. And I am so truly blessed and humble because of that. And like I said, when God tells you to do something, you better do it. And I'm here to say,
mm-hmm.
when that feeling sticks with you and will not leave you alone, you got to be where you can discern and hear his voice. And it
Yes.
was nothing but God telling me that you need to write this book. This book is not only my beginning, but it's my ending to every hurt word, every action, every reaction. It's in this book. And I thank God for that, because
It's
that was my
literally
healing
therapy.
process. Yes, it was my therapy. It was my healing process,
Mm-hmm.
and the weights were
Mm-hmm.
lifted off of me. I not only forgave people in this book, but I forgave myself. I was walking around here thinking I was
Ooh.
perfect. I am not perfect. I
Yeah.
put my face
Yeah.
on. I'm looking good, and I'm thinking I'm okay. But you never really truly realize
Mm-hmm.
you're okay until that trigger happens, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just like a light switch go off,
Yeah.
and it brings you back to the
Yeah.
beginning of that hurt and pain. And I just got tired of, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like a hamster on that wheel, just going round and round. Every
Just going
situation,
round and
the
round. Come
same,
on.
yeah, the same
Yes.
thing. And I said, enough is enough.
Yes.
I am better than
Enough
this.
is
We are better
enough.
than this.
Yes.
And like I said, this book
Yes.
was a season, and I'm no longer in that season. That's why when I say, you either knew
Girl,
me
don't make me
or
shiver.
you know me. And if you knew me, you knew me in this season, this broken young
Come
woman
on.
here. But yet, do
Come
you
on.
know me? Because I am a whole healed person. I don't let certain things, certain people bother me anymore, because I always say my cutoff game is quick. I'm not dealing with any
It's
negativity,
ooh,
any,
it's
any
vicious.
toxic, yes,
Ooh,
any toxic
it's
people.
vicious.
Because, like I said, 2020 is about to be at an end. So I say again, you either knew me or you
Yes.
know me. And
Yes.
depending on which one of
Yes.
those two answers you answer to, is going to say where you are in life with me.
Yes. Yes. Amen and amen. When you um when you were writing this, or when you decided to publish it, it's one
Hmm.
thing. The thing I love about writing for me
Hmm.
is it's one thing to go, you can have a single thought, just
Hmm.
any, it could be a single thought, and how it goes from here to here
Hmm.
to here to here. Like you have the single thought, and then it goes into your words. Oh, I'm gonna do this, and then you
Hmm.
actually do it. You
Do it.
actually
Hmm.
write, and then you see the end project.
Hmm.
When you were thinking about, or when you were beginning to publish it, because you talk about some very personal things, and you
Hmm.
talk about other people and how they treated you
Hmm.
and how they were and things of that nature. Did you have this feeling of, or did you tug with yourself? And I'm not asking for a friend, I'm asking, but did you tug with yourself like, should I say this? Should I not say this? Should I do this? Should I not do this? Maybe I should take that out. Oh, are they gonna be mad at me? What about, did you have any of those feelings or thoughts, or was it just like, you know what? It is what it is. They did it, I didn't. Let's go.
Actually, I did. I battled with, even like I said, writing every word, syllable, period, exclamation mark in this book. I battled with it because I was like, what will the people think or take from it by me writing it? Now,
That's
everything in this
it.
book is true. It's true. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
But how will they
Mm-hmm.
react actually seeing it in book form? And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I needed to know for myself that I could do it. I needed to know for
Yes.
them that I could do it for them, to let them know this book is a season. You don't have to be stuck at this season. Each and every one of us can
Mm-hmm.
change. You just have to be willing, wanting to do it. But yes, I struggle with it
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, what will they take from it? And I've been getting positive feedback on it, great feedback, as a matter of fact. But each and every one that I've talked to has taken something away from it totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has come up
Did
with,
you?
with the same concept.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you receive any negative feedback? Like, was somebody mad that you mentioned them, or that you told this particular part, and why you say that about me, and why you do this? Did you? I know you had the positive, but did you have any
Mhm.
negative feedback?
If there has been any negative feedback, it has not been brought to my attention. Now, it may have been, spoken out
Okay.
there, but not brought directly to my door. And it shouldn't be any
Mm.
negative feedback because, like I said, everything that was in this book, it happened. But we have to know. Sometimes you just
Mm.
can't sit on stuff and just sweep it under the
Come
rug
on.
and just let it be there. And then the next thing happens, and then you go back to that first thing that hurt you, and then you're all mad and bitter all over again. You have to say
Mm.
enough is enough. You know, and
Yes.
I had just got to the
Yes.
point where I was tired. I was tired of going through the same cycles. And I was just trying to let each and every one know that I forgive you wholeheartedly. And I even forgave myself. Because I'm not going to just say that, they
Mm-hmm.
did whatever. I played a part in that as well. Because their action
Mm-hmm.
may have caused me to react a certain way, or my action may have
Mm-hmm.
caused them to react a certain way. But I'm just here to let them know that
Mm-hmm.
that book is a season. You don't have to stay bound like that. And I just got tired of being bound. Tired of, you said, well, you did this, you
Amen.
did that, you acted this way. But hey, that's no longer me. That was a season. That's the way I was because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that I was broken inside. So I'm here to tell each and everyone out there,
Yes.
if there are issues that you are battling, please talk about it. Please get some help and some therapy. And if you felt wronged by
Mm-hmm.
somebody, go to them. Because I tell my kids all the time,
Mm-hmm.
if you have a problem, let's sit down, let's talk about it. Let's yell, fuss, whatever. And at the end of the day, we're going to go through it. We're going to talk about it. Even if we be mad, let's go through that. Then we'll get through it and we can move on. Let's stop continuing to
Mm-hmm.
repeat the cycle because, we need to stop these cycles that are going on within family households. Communicate more.
Mm-hmm.
And most
Talk
importantly,
about
keep
it.
God first.
Talk
Yes.
about it.
Talk
That's
about it.
true.
Like I said,
That
I
is the
didn't know that
God's
I had.
honest truth.
Yes, because I didn't know I had triggers until, I started writing and started looking at myself. And once you start doing a self reflection of yourself, you can start trying to heal some areas.
Yes. 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 I posed that question to you because um I have a book, like my first book is coming next month, I believe. It
Mm-hmm.
has to come, it's coming next month. And before, so that's like that's one book, but I'm that's the one that I decided to put out first. But there's
Okay.
another book coming behind that. It's called The Wednesday Addams Complex, and
Mm-hmm.
it deals with very, very personal. Like the one that's coming out next month, that is just controversial. It is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. This is what happened in this particular
Mm-hmm.
year, yada, yada, yada. But the Wednesday Addams Complex is, it's raw. Well, everything I write is raw, but
Okay.
I've had, just from just a little excerpts, if you've seen that, I have an excerpt on my website, and you've seen
Mm-hmm.
maybe some of my posts about it, but I have actually had people in my or my relatives, because there's a difference between
Mm-hmm.
family and relatives, and I keep saying that. So I've
Okay.
had some relatives that have come, like literally, I'm talking like literal death threats, like literal,
Oh,
don't put
wow.
me in your book, literal. Oh yeah, my life is it's traumatic. Literally, like, don't say this, don't say that. And I sat back with it, and there's always, like, I'm a fearless person, but there's always that what are people gonna say? What are people gonna think?
Mm-hmm.
How are people going to feel? But what I have come to
Mm-hmm.
understand, and what I have said to them is, I'm sorry, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
telling your story, sweetheart.
Right.
I'm telling my
Correct.
in hopes and hopes and aspirations that it will help the next person. Because my guy, he keeps saying,
Mm-hmm.
baby, this book is going to help so many young girls, so many people that have
Right.
actually gone through this trauma and are still living with this stuff. And you actually
Mm-hmm.
have taken this, because he's like, you've taken this concept and you're just laying it out, because I don't see any other way. To me,
Right.
writing I don't see any other way other than to be completely and brutally honest in writing, because
Mm-hmm.
what else are you going to do? Writing is the
Right.
only thing to me that that should be completely and
Mm-hmm.
utterly transparent.
Right.
And I had to tell these people, and I kind of backed down a little bit, but I had to tell them, I didn't do it. You did. I'm just
Right.
telling my story. So I wanted to thank you and tell you that I was writing, and I was tugging back and forth. But when I read this book, The Modern Day Jabez, it was like, you know what? If
Mm-hmm.
she can do it, if she can tell her
Mm-hmm.
story, if she can do it, there is no way that I cannot. There is no way that I should not. You were my inspiration, because I was literally gonna just like,
Oh, well,
maybe not. And
thank
even
you.
with the one that's coming out next month, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, nah. You were my inspiration, cuz, to
Yeah, but
keep it pushing and to keep it
yes.
moving and to just do what you do.
And like I said, I've had people come to say, like, your life was literally my life. There were certain instances in the book that I went through. I went through the same thing. Then I had people say, well, I never knew you went through all of that. You're always smiling. You're always laughing. It's nobody but God who has kept me through each and every one of these chapters in my book. Because I also talk about three very important people in my life that died before my eyes. I
Mhm.
literally saw them die. And that might be help for the
Yes.
next person who is going through grief and cannot make it. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't get weak at times, because I do. I mean, it's
Mhm.
okay to cry,
Mhm.
do what you have to do. But at the end of the day, you got to
Mhm.
pick yourself up, dust yourself off, keep it moving, and keep it pushing. And I hope I can be the next inspiration for the next person. I mean, I want you to look at me
Yeah.
and say, well, hey, she went through all of these, and yet she's still here. She's still standing. And yes, I am.
Yeah.
I am truly, truly standing.
Yes.
I'm blessed. Now, at the time it was going
Mhm.
on, sure, I was hurt. I was crying. I was fussing. Back then, I may have been doing a little bit of cussing because everything was going on at that time. But yet,
Just
at
a
the
little
end
bit.
of just a little bit. But like I said, I am so much better.
Just a
I have
little
been
bit.
evolved. Yes, just a little bit. I have been evolved, and that's why I'm always constantly saying, if you either knew me or you know me, and the know me person is so
Or
much better than the one
well,
that you used to do. That, yes.
well, send some of that curse and grace this way, cause the Lord Jesus might
I,
cuss a whole lot.
oh, I got you, cuz. I got you. I
Just
got
call
you.
me. Just call me
Like I
Peter
say,
Real.
it's truly
Just
a
call me
growing
Peter Real.
process. It's a growing process.
Yes, yes. We have one comment from Lovolution, as a matter of
All
fact.
right.
Hi, Amy and John.
Hi.
And they say, much love. Thank you, Kay and Paula. No, thank
Yes.
you, Lovolution, for my great
Yes, we
product,
thank
because
you.
it
All
is the
right.
bomb. It is thebomb.com. And thank you for
All right.
tuning in. And thank you for shooting a comment. I so
Yes.
appreciate you all. I so appreciate you all. So now, Paula, tell us what's next for Paula Kendrick. Are you doing a book tour? Are you, what's happening? Or is the book just
Oh,
selling itself?
the book right now is pretty much selling itself. I have been on it. I've been to the post office so much that they know me when I come in. I have been sending my book
Oh,
out
that's so,
to multiple people, not just customers, but people that are in the industry, that are tied to whatever. Because I'm just hoping and praying, and like I said, I'm standing on this Jabez prayer that God is going to bless me
yeah,
and enlarge my territory. So I'll send this book
yeah,
out to people that I know, hey, with their stamp of approval. Not only God has blew his breath on this book, but it's going places. But like I said,
yes,
I've
yes,
collaborated with about 9 or 10 other authors. Like I said, we've come together as a collaboration. We've written a chapter that's going into one whole book that is supposed to drop next month.
awesome,
I am so excited about that. There is a
awesome.
tour in the works. I'm just truly blessed. I've got so much going on. Like I said, stay tuned to me on Facebook, Instagram,
Hey,
LinkedIn, whatever you hear my voice, see my face, be there with me. Because like I said, I right now God has truly got me on a tremendous path and a journey, and I'm just blessed. I just want to go out and help eat the next woman. The next woman who
yeah,
that's maybe going through something traumatic and do not know if they're going to make it,
mm-hmm.
not even if they're going to lay down and wake up the
Yes,
next morning. I'm here to tell you, you can. God has got you, baby
yes,
girl. You are going to be okay. Just know that whatever you are going through is
yes,
only temporary, and you're going to get through this.
yes. Thank you so much. Do you
Yes.
have a website where people can contact you, or should they just contact you through social media? And are you Paula Kendrick on all of your social media, or also Paula
Um,
Kendrick?
I've got my
How do
personal
people
face.
find you?
My personal Facebook page is Paula Kendrick. My author's page on Facebook is author space Paula space Kendrick. I'm on Instagram
Okay.
as Paula Kendrick Lightshine on Instagram. So
Okay.
just follow me in all
Mm-hmm.
those instances. If you want to purchase the book, I'm on Barnes and Noble. I'm on Amazon. You can go to my personal website, which is the moderndayjabez.com. Like I said, you
Mm-hmm.
can, if you go directly to my website, you have to have PayPal. But if you reach out to me and you want to cash out me,
Okay.
you can do that as well. That's the $
Okay.
PDKEND5439. My email is
Mm-hmm.
author Paula Kendrick at gmail.com. Feel free to send me an email.
Mm-hmm.
Just reach out to me to each and every aspect. And I also have an ebook out as well on
Awesome.
different aspects. I know Scribed is one of them, and it's like several more that I'm not familiar with, but I will be posting that ebook link on my Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free to, if you don't want a paperback and get the signed copy, you can also get an ebook. But I know this book would truly bless you in some area of your life. Like I said, where
Yeah.
you're dealing with adoption and
Yeah.
emotions that go along with that, being hurt and rejected,
Yeah.
anything of that nature. I know this book
Yeah.
would truly be a blessing to you all.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Paula Kendrick. I really enjoyed this interview. And I'm going to
Me
take my
too.
picture and send it to you. I
Okay.
know those were my
Please do.
instructions, but I really wanted it
Yes,
to
ma'am.
I wanted it to come from I wanted it to come from an authentic place. We
Okay.
have another comment. Christy Nance Taylor says, "Hey, hello,
Hi.
Kay. Hi,
Hi, Christy.
Christy. You guys, Christy is my. I don't know if you guys remember that movie, The Matrix,
Okay.
when Neo met Trinity, and she kind of navigates Neo through whatever. Well, Christy
All
is my
right.
Trinity, and she hits
Okay.
me with some nuggets almost every week. I
All
love
right.
Christy. Blessings to you, Christy, and thank you for tuning in. But I wanted it to, I really wanted to come from a genuine place.
Okay.
Um, Paula, when I did take your book, I wanted to read it, not just take it. No, I wanted to read the book, finish it, and then take my picture. And again, there's two. There's the Modern Day Jabez, and there's the devotional. Now, does the devotional automatically come with
No,
the
at
book, or
that
is
particular
that
time, I
separate?
was doing the book. You got the right. You got the devotional. Right now, the book is
Mhm.
$16.99, and the devotional is $7.99. But I will be doing
Okay.
some promos here and there. You just got to keep up with me. Like I said, if you want to wait and purchase the book to get the devotional, you can. But if not, $25 will get both of them at the same time.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. Christy
Mhm.
says, blessings to you both.
Blessings to you,
God is
Christy.
awesome. Yes, he is, Christy.
Yes.
And we'll talk later, Christy. But I love you. God is so awesome. So, so,
Yes,
so, so,
he
so,
is.
so, so
Yes,
awesome. Don't
he
get us
is.
started
Yes.
because we almost had that church
I'm
earlier.
telling you. I'm telling you. Look, I
And
didn't cry enough this evening.
I've been crying for 2 days. So don't even worry. Between your book and this fight with this network, I've been
It's gonna
crying
be
for
all right. It's gonna be
2 days.
all right, cuz
So
you got
I
this. You got
understand,
this.
cuz I understand. I do. I do. It's just anyway. So guys, the Modern Day Jabez Memoirs of Paula Kendrick, Shattered Yet Redeemed. I love that. And the devotional Beautifully Broken from the Heart. $25 get you both
Hmm.
of them. I'm
Hmm.
expecting you all to buy both of them. And when you
Yes.
do, when you purchase it, or when you contact her, please let her know that you saw her on the Down the Rabbit Hole with KD show,
Okay.
and just give her some support, give her some love, give her some encouragement, and just go with that and purchase her book. Follow her on Facebook, Instagram,
Hmm.
LinkedIn. Go on her
Yes.
website. Email
Oh,
her.
yes.
Tell
I'm
her how
on
beautiful she looked tonight.
yes, I have a podcast as well. I'm on
All of
Anchor, Spotify, Apple iTunes. Hey, I'm all over the place.
okay. 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 I didn't know about the podcast. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, send that information too. And then also,
Okay.
Paula, when we get off of here, if you want to, you can go ahead and just put all of that information in the comments, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your email, all of that good stuff. So just do that for me and our viewers and things like that. And we're going to support you. I love you. I appreciate you.
I love you too. I thank you for having me.
I can't. Of course. I can't wait to see you. I don't know if we're going to have another reunion either in Chicago or Arkansas, whatever. But nevertheless, I love you. Take care.
I love
you
you
blessed.
too.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pushing. Thank
you. You as well.
Thank you. It runs in the family, guys.
All right.
It's in the genes.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Again, I appreciate I appreciate you all for tuning in. Be safe, be kind, be nice, be loving. People are going through all over the world. The whole world is in turmoil. So just be a freaking human being. A loving human being to all. Okay?
Correct.
Love you all. Have a good night. Bye. Thank you again for joining us.